Check one, check one. Welcome back to an all new episode here at Let's Talk Lions. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Let me know in the chat. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is it all coming through? Nice and beautiful. Let me know in the chat. What's going on, everybody? Vosh, I see you out there. Nolan, Kyle Massey, my man. Det Fat Man, LMM, LNM Bros, Bo, Lions fan, one Paulie LFP. What's going on, guys? Good to see you all this Saturday morning. Well, here we are. For those of you who are just joining, my name is Jay. If you've never been here before, this is Let's Talk Lions. All we do is talk about the Detroit Lions, and it's a good time. Good to see you all. What are you guys drinking this morning? Actually, a buddy of mine procured for me some very good coffee. It's called Onyx. It's great stuff. Very expensive, but that's why it's good to have friends who can give you some things that are, well, expensive. It's nice. It's good stuff. John Robinson, what's going on, my man? Ooh, Jamaican coffee. Now, if it's the Jamaican Blue Mountain stuff, that's good coffee. Speedway, once again, that's just, I'm sorry for you. Speedway is like a bad version of Big B. And I know that might be very offensive to people because people out here love Big B, but not a Big B guy. I mean, if I'm going to do anything, give me that Dunkin' Donuts. If I'm going to go low grade, you got to go D&D. All right, everybody, what's happening? Good to see you all today. We got some stuff to talk about. First and foremost, somebody brought up in one of my most recent videos, they were like, yo, I love the music that you have in all your episodes. Actually, it's by a good friend of mine, and he is a part of a band. He's part of a group, and you can check it out. They just dropped a new album yesterday. It's on Spotify. It's called Phonoglow by Mumchild and High Noon. My buddy's name is Chris Bartels. He puts out solid music always. A lot of good ambient stuff. I love a lot of his music. Good buddy. He is a Minnesota Vikings fan, and that is a bummer. But hey, it gives us something to talk about. NFC North talk, good stuff. Definitely recommend you checking it out. Yeah, Bo, you caught it. You caught the low-key D&D reference. That's my bad. I got excited, man. Tim Hortons. You know what? Tim Hortons, not terrible. Wow, Echo Bastion, my man, watching from work. What are you doing? What are you working on a Saturday morning? Come on, man. Got to get on that. All right. What's good? Ian Saunders, my man. And you know what? How did I think about the name of my channel? I love to talk about the Lions, and I was like, I'd like to talk about the Lions with somebody else. My wife does not enjoy hearing me talk about the Lions. She watches all my videos because she's wonderful, but she's like, Jay, you got to talk to your brother. You got to talk to somebody else about the Lions. So then I was just like, all right, well, we're going to talk Lions on the YouTubular. That's what I started to do. And it's been great. So, because otherwise I was just calling up my brother, Bills fan, Lions fan, just chalking it up. But then one day rolled around, and then I ended up just being like, you know what? I'm a videographer, I'm an artist. I talk to people on the internet. We'll see how we do. And here we are, 3.5 thousand people later, you guys hanging out with me on a Saturday. It's wild. I love it. And this hydro flask is keeping my coffee too hot. So I'm afraid to drink from it right now because it's going to scorch my mouth. Yeah, take it slow. Guys. Take it slow. All right, let's see here. Oh, man. What part of town am I from? I'll just say the Metro Detroit area. I don't want to give out too much information about myself and where I'm located, but I appreciate it. All right, so let's see here. Hey, favorite Lord of the Rings quote, character, does Pippin do anything productive ever? Before we hop into Detroit Lions talk, we're going to hammer this one out by Benjamin Mofit. I appreciate the question. My favorite Lord of the Rings quote ever has to be by Bilbo in the Fellowship of the Ring, when he says, it's no such bad thing to live a simple life. All my life, I think that, everybody is seeking purpose. We're all seeking purpose. And I know this has nothing to do with the Lions, but I'm going to hammer it out. We're all seeking purpose, something to do, finding where our lives matter. And I think for myself, I can kind of get lost, and I'm not always remembering how beautiful a simple life is, how beautiful the simplicity just a beautiful morning and enjoying relationships with family and with friends, and as simple as enjoying the Detroit Lions. And so my favorite quote from Lord of the Rings is, "It's no such bad thing to live a simple life." Bilbo Baggins, J.R.R. Tolkien. Great stuff. Good question. Way to bring it in. Appreciate it. D. Reese, I appreciate the love, my man. Love the channel. I appreciate it, guys. Hey, the best way you can all support me, the best way you can support Let's Talk Lions is simply sharing it with friends. If you have friends that are Detroit Lions fans, shoot it their way. Hopefully, they'll enjoy it just as much. Quite frankly, I can't believe we've grown to the point we have here, and it's all because of you guys. So I can't thank you all enough. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Kyle Massey, the quote about Gandalf and Gandalf talking about time and all we can do is really live the best life with the time that's given to us. Also, a really great quote. Now, let's talk Lions. I see that we got something coming in here. What is your favorite upcoming matchup now that the schedule is out? Which one are you looking forward to the most? So we are going to break down the schedule. And from what I could tell, let's just hop right into it. Yesterday, I put out a video that was all about the schedule. I believe, yeah, it was Friday. I put out the video, kind of just talking it through, talking about our record, making it all the way 1 to 18, weeks 1 to 18. And I wanted to discuss it further with you guys. It's kind of nice to be able to sit here. This is why I like Saturday mornings, is because we can actually have a dialogue. I can see what you guys are thinking. So first of all, first and foremost, drop your thoughts in the chat. What will our record be? I appreciate you guys throwing that in there. I obviously said I believe that the Detroit Lions will go 7-10. Now, some people might look at me and say, yeah, you're too optimistic. You're too optimistic. I'm just being a realist. I'm just being a realist because here's my thought. I think that we do pull out 7 wins with Jared Goff, with our O-line, with the running game that we have brought here. However, I noticed a lot of guys and girls saying in the comments from yesterday's video, I saw a lot of 5-12 and I saw a lot of 6-11. Some of the more optimistic individuals made their way to that 7th win. I saw some people saying more than 7. I saw some people saying less than 5. But I think the most common was a 6-11, 5-12, at the best a 7-10. 7-10. We got John Martin coming in. He's saying we got 8 wins. Gray Matter Sports, he's saying 6-11. That's what I'm talking about. Ryan hitting that 5-12. Then you got somebody like L&M Bros. L&M saying 3-14, saying we're going to be trash. We're going to be trash. Now, listen, here's the thing. People have asked me, Jay, what defines a successful season? It has nothing to do with the wins or the losses this year. I don't believe that the Detroit Lions will have a successful season if we have 7 wins or if we have 4 wins. I don't think it actually matters. When I look at what will make a successful season, wins do not translate as coaching competency this year, just this year. Now, other years, yes, obviously, you want to have enough wins. Wins show, hey, the coach is competent. But this season specifically, during a retool, I don't think that having 3 wins or 7 wins says, hey, Coach Campbell is good or bad. I don't think it says that Anthony Lynn is good or bad. I don't think it says Brad Holmes is good or bad. I really look at the way that the schedule is. I look at the way, what matters to me is how are our players progressing? How are the coaches progressing in their leadership? Has the culture changed? I think the NFC North title for Detroit is 2 years out. I think we're 2 years out of winning the NFC North. I'm talking 2022 at the earliest, but really 2023. In 2023, the Detroit Lions will win the NFC North if we continue on the trajectory that we are on. However, we are playing competitive teams. And this is right. Ryan, you're calling it out, dude. Like, we're playing tough teams. The AFC North is not an easy battle. The NFC West, are you kidding me? Like, I really look at them like we can beat San Fran LA is an upset type of win. The Lions do win a lot of games that we shouldn't win. You and I know that. Like you sit down, you're like, all right, we're about to get blown out today. And then all of a sudden the Lions pull out a W. Now, granted, we did have Matt Stafford in the fourth quarter who just terrorized villages like Godzilla out there, which is going to be interesting going to LA. I'm really excited to see that. Oh, let's see here. I know I just kind of want to comment, seeing what you guys are saying. Drop your thoughts in the chat. Yeah, you know what? Big Wes Kivian. We're just gonna go with Big Wes here. I'll be happy if we can run the ball and stop the run. Motor City hasn't had a running game in forever. DeAndre Swift is definitely offering that to us. We're seeing so much. Now with the addition of Jamal Williams as well, and cutting Kerryon Johnson, we just signed Jamar Jefferson to a 4-year contract. We signed him. We said, you're our guy. You're running back number 3. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I love it. I love that we brought him in for that. Quite frankly, if we can have a good running game, I think that's going to be huge. I saw a San Francisco 49ers fan comment on my last video when I talked about it. I said Detroit's going to beat San Fran week 1. And he said, really, whoever has the better running game will pull that W out. I think it's a valid point. The run game matters, man. Detroit hasn't had it forever. That's why we can't or that's why we don't have very many successful seasons with a lacking run game. What? We didn't have plus 100 yards from 2013 to 18? Terrible. Dead Fat Man, what defines a successful season this year? No kneecaps left in the division. Don't finish last place in the NFC North. That's fair. Hey, if we don't finish last, I really think Chicago will finish last in the NFC North this year. Schedule is kind of brutal. I kind of look at Philadelphia, Atlanta. Those are 2 games that could flip-flop either way. I said we beat Philly, but we lose to Atlanta. Quite frankly, Atlanta, every time we play Atlanta, it's crazy. So you know what? We're just going to take it top to bottom. Week 1, the Detroit Lions are facing off against San Fran. Like I said, it's a home game here in Detroit. I really think that Detroit takes the W. I really do. I think, you're coming off. It's a brand new season. Everybody, 0-0. They have to come here to Detroit. Will Trey Lance be starting? Will Jimmy G be starting? What are we dealing with? Quite frankly, I could really see Detroit coming out, knocking this one out of the park, take that W. I mean, I look at last year. We had the Bears in our clutches. I think we should have won that game. Does Justin Fields start immediately? Andrew Addy, my assumption is yes. I think that the Red Rocket sits behind him, kind of is that Fitzpatrick for Tua type of deal, but I don't think they even want Andy Dalton. I think it's kind of like, hey, you be the sage while we bring Justin Fields in here. You give him pointers. Week 1. The one thing is, I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Chicago faces off against LA week 1. I do believe so. It would be Justin Fields versus Matt Stafford. Going back to the schedule, so we do have San Francisco. Yeah, so Jeffrey Cameron, you're saying 1-0. You agree. Okay, great question. We're going to kind of bounce around because I don't want to just spend the entire time on the schedule. Asan Moore, what rookie are you most excited for on your Lions? What rookie are you most excited for in the whole NFL? Ooh, good question. Good question. Asan, when I look at Detroit very specifically, I mean, it's hard not to just say Penei Sewell, right? Because that's our first round draft pick, the excitement around him, having that O-line. However, I think if I had to pick somebody else other than him, I'm really excited to see what Jamar Jefferson can do at the running back 3 position. But picking one, I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown, adding to that wide receiver core, a core that is definitely in shambles. We try to pick up the pieces with all these free agents this last year. I'm going to go Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do here in Detroit. Hey, Lions minicamp. You know what? I didn't see the Detroit Lions YouTube channel. They didn't put out anything. They didn't show like a review. I saw on their Instagram, they kind of did like a highlights reel, guys, running routes, doing whatever. However, I want to see like an in-depth video. I'm sure it'll come out Monday or Tuesday because, that runs through Sunday. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing what they got there. Rookie mini camp, obviously. Penei Sewell couldn't make it. Penei Sewell gets COVID, tests positive for COVID-19, cannot attend rookie mini camp. Huge bummer. Huge bummer for Sewell. Huge bummer for the Lions, just in general. I saw that and I was like, yeah, of course. Of course. Makes sense. All right, moving on. Let's see here. Back to the schedule. Week 2, playing Green Bay. So last year, same thing. We played Green Bay at Lambeau week 2. You guys remember Jones running that 75-yard touchdown at the half? I literally can see it now. I got up, I go to the fridge and grab an adult beverage. And as I'm in the other room cracking it open, I hear Josh and Christian, two of my buddies, just start screaming, poke my head in, and there's Jones just running 75 yards to open up the second half. A huge bummer. So looking at that, you know what? We're going to Green Bay. I think we do lose, especially if fans are going to be there. Though I'll say this, it all comes down to Aaron Rodgers. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be a Packer this year or not? I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. My guess is Aaron Rodgers is still a Packer. He gets extended. He plays out the rest of his career there. I know there's all this disgruntled talk. However, Schefter may have made it up a little bit more than it needed to be made up to be. Does that make sense? Kind of pushed it in our faces. So I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is leaving. I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch. Not going to put the wagon in front of the horse. Aaron Rodgers, if he is a Packer, he is a Packer at the moment. They beat us at Lambeau week 2. Yeah, Echo Bastion, my man. He did test positive for COVID. A huge bummer. Right here. Right before we get to this comment, thank you all for joining me here this morning on Let's Talk Lions. It's a live Q&A hangout session. Drop your thoughts in the chat. We're just enjoying a little bit of coffee together. May 15th? I can't believe it's already mid-May, man. So thank you all for being here. The best way you can support the channel, share this out with your friends. You guys are awesome. Bo Gagarius? Gagrius? We're going with Bo. Big Bo. Yo, listen, I saw somebody put out there that a huge blockbuster trade that could go into effect is OBJ to the Lions. It's not going to happen. I would bet the farm on it, but then again, I don't have betting privileges on the farm, so we'll see. I don't believe that that's even a move that Holmes and Campbell would make. It's too much of a splash, too much of a big money move. It's not something that I think would even take place in general. However, I also would not want OBJ here. I think his personality doesn't fit the culture that we're trying to build, a culture that is you before me. Right? We're trying to really build a servant leadership type of culture in Detroit, really a locker room that's like, hey, we're about the team. OBJ, phenomenal athlete. I don't want him in the locker room here in Detroit. Yeah, it's kind of a bit of a cancerous situation. That's what Big Wes is saying. Hard no on OBJ. Steve DeYoung, I'm with you. Wouldn't want him. He could stay in Cleveland. Not interested. Let's see here. Where do I see Rodgers going? Okay. If Rodgers were to leave, everybody's saying Denver. I mean, quite frankly, I would be very intrigued if he were to go to Denver or Vegas. I think him in Vegas would be phenomenal. That's the team that I would like to see him go to if he could go anywhere. Put him in that division. My God, that would be incredible. But quite frankly, not the Panthers. I mean, they're all in on Darnold. It really does feel like very interesting that correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the Packers signed Blake Bortles as a backup QB, which says a lot. What's happening, BD Buster? Thanks for being here. Lion fan 951. OBJ is all about OBJ. Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely accurate. Thank you, everybody, for being here today on Let's Talk Lions. We are talking about the schedule. You guys are asking questions. We're just running through it like it's no big deal, like we're cross country runners. It's all about the distance. It's not a sprint. We're taking the long haul to the finish line. So we are moving on to week 3. Baltimore is coming here to Detroit. Growing up, I couldn't stand Baltimore, but that was because I lived on the East Coast. When I moved out here, you don't deal with them as much. You don't meet any fans. Baltimore's become like who cares? This game will be interesting. I do believe that Baltimore comes here after we lose against Green Bay. They come here and just punch us right in the mouth as well. I do not see that being a game that the Lions win. So there we are at 1-2. And moving on, then we go away. We go to Chicago. This is going to be interesting. Obviously, Chicago last year, the first time we played them was the whole DeAndre Swift situation, but they had Mitch Trubisky. Now, Mitch Trubisky beat the Lions, I think 7 out of 8 appearances against Detroit since he was there. I mean, Mitch Trubisky had a phenomenal record against the Lions. Huge bummer. Just wanted to beat him so bad last year in that first game. But hey, Mitch Trubisky's gone. He's in Buffalo. It's Justin Fields. At this point, I think it's Justin Fields' team. I think that he is leading Chicago. But quite frankly, I don't think that Justin Fields is going to have a successful career in Chicago. Elsewhere, maybe. Chicago, I don't see it. I don't see it. So there we're going to Chicago, and I do believe that we beat them at home in Chicago. We take them on at Soldier Field, take that W. We are a 2-2 ball club. And I see that's what a lot of people are saying. Yep, Chicago with the W. Everyone had a phenomenal record against the Lions. That's a good one. That's a good one. Here's a good question coming in from Jack Hayes. Thoughts on Terrell Crosby being traded potentially? Sorry if that question's already been asked. It hasn't been asked, but we were going to get there. Quite frankly, I don't want to trade him yet. I don't. I look at Crosby and his ability to play both tackle positions. You have him on both sides. I look at him as a solid depth move for Detroit. I know it's at the end of his contract. I think this is the last year of his rookie contract, I believe. And if that's it, he's 25, 26 years old. Last year of the rookie contract. I say we hold on to him. You create that depth. You hold on to it because, hey, shoot, what if Decker or Penei Sewell goes down? Well, now you have a good guy to come in to take over for him. I look at Crosby and I say, let's hold on to him. Don't get rid of him just yet. Depends on what's at stake. What are people willing to give the Detroit Lions? Because anybody could benefit from having Crosby. Anybody could benefit from having that depth. I look at them and I say, let's hold out. Ty Zen coming in just 1-3 for sure. See, I disagree. I think we're going 2-2. I think we're going 2-2. And oh, wow. Nolan going with 3-1. Lions fan 1 Paulie saying 0-4. Wow. All right, moving on. I know that we were talking a little bit about the schedule, so we're going to hop back into that. Next, we head over to Minnesota, right? Minnesota also away. Yeah, you know what? Right before we jump onto that, Steve DeYoung, you called it out. No one ever says it, but depth in the trenches wins championships. Absolutely. You need the trenches to be full. You have to have a solid build out in the trenches because no, it's not the sexy area. It's not the pretty area. It's not the guy running down the field, making the beautiful catch, running 75 yards. It's none of that, but it's the guys that protect it to allow that to happen. You need depth there. So that's why I'm all about it. Yeah, and you know what, Big West, you're right. Predictions are a little silly at this point. That's why they're way too early predictions. That's what's fun about it. We're just kind of gambling out here. Looking at Minnesota, I do think that from what I remember, going away to Minnesota this early in the season, I'm going to give us the L. I think we lose to Minnesota this early away, but I believe we split with them. We end up splitting with Minnesota, but we'll get there. Then it's Cincinnati here in Detroit, and that one I am excited about. Reason being, Cincinnati passed up on Penei Sewell. This game very well, shoot, Joe Burrow could get injured. What if this was the game that Joe Burrow get injured? And God forbid, I never want to see any athlete get injured, specifically in football. It's such a brutal sport. Never want to see that. However, shoot, they passed up on Penei Sewell. They went for that sexy pick. They went for Jamar Chase. And then what happens if I want to just see Penei Sewell go off this game? I want to see him absolutely demolish guys so that Cincinnati sits there and they're like, well, I think we made the wrong choice. That's my hope. That's my hope. I'm giving us the W over Cincinnati, and then we head to LA week 7. This is the game that, quite frankly, you know what? Somebody said it. I saw it in the comments. Why did we not get a prime time for this game? And I know people are like, oh, why would you give the Lions a prime time? They get Thanksgiving, blah, 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 whatever. I think we have prime time against, or we have a Monday night football game with Green Bay in week 2, I do believe. Why did we not get prime time for this? Matt Stafford in another uniform for the guy that we traded for. When we said, you guys can have Stafford, we'll take the boy. We'll take Jared Goff. They send it. That's a lost reference for anybody. Nobody probably is going to get that one. There's just one thing, though. We're going to have to take the boy. And then, Walt goes over on the boat and Michael's like, no, not my son. It's whatever. We'll get there. So with that being said, this game to me is primetime material. It's Matt Stafford versus Jared Goff. Matt Stafford versus the Lions, his entire career. It's Jared Goff against McVay. And I want to see Jared Goff have a heyday. I want to see Jared Goff go off, absolutely stick it to McVay. Now, the one thing that does scare me is we probably shouldn't turn the game on until the fourth quarter because that's when Matt Stafford comes alive. And, that's when the L comes in for us. We would actually get to experience what it's like to see a Matt Stafford come back on the wrong side. That would be hilarious, but also the worst. Yes, that is a lost reference for you guys. Jeffrey, my man, I got you. Steve DeYoung, you're welcome. Yeah, it is Goff versus McVay. That's really where the storyline is. But shoot, that game to me could be the most fun. I think the Lions pull the upset. We take the W against LA. Then we come home. It's Philadelphia. I hate Philly. The sports teams, not the city. The city itself is, okay, it's a good city. It is what it is. A lot of history there. Pretty cool. However, can't stand the Philadelphia Eagles. And so here, Kerryon Johnson coming up against Detroit. I just think it's two meh teams, kind of a toss-up, but I do give the Lions the W here. How do you guys all feel about the whole Matt Stafford? What's the bigger storyline? Is it Matt Stafford versus the Lions, or is it Jared Goff versus McVay? Drop it in the chat. For those of you just joining, welcome back to an all-new episode of Let's Talk Lions. We're live today. I'm answering your questions. We're just hanging out. Jeffrey Cameron, I wish I could subscribe to this channel twice. That's too flattering. Thank you, good sir. Let's see. I'm getting a Goff versus McVay. That's more of the storyline. Yeah, because when you think about it, McVay just was like, middle finger to Goff. I don't want him. Give me your man. Yeah, we're seeing that. Goff versus McVay. Stafford left on good terms. You are correct. Another Goff versus McVay. This is the first Stafford versus the Lions. First one that we're seeing here. Yeah. All in all, Stafford versus Campbell. I don't know about that one just simply because there's no like Campbell Stafford blood. I think it's more of a Stafford versus the Lions. Yeah, the LA storyline will be created afterwards. If McVay loses to Goff, how can this reputation recover? If Stafford smokes the Lions, and the story is all about the career resurgence. Great point. That's actually a great one, Death Fat Man. That's exactly what it'll be. The national media is going to spin it how they want to spin it. But you and I, all of us here in Detroit, we're going to see it for what it really is. Yeah, both. You know what? Everybody's got something to prove that game. Popping back over. Week 9, the Detroit Lions successfully make it through the bye. That's right. We post a W that week by taking off. Oh, I will say, I'm really thankful that we finally got a bye mid-season. For the last 2 years, it's been week 5. Week 5, all the guys, it's still super early. I hate an early bye. Week 9 feels good. It feels right. Kind of halfway through it's halfway through the season, which is crazy that there's 18 weeks. Not gonna lie, that has messed me up so much looking at all the schedules and seeing the different buys, seeing the week 17, week 18. It just keeps screwing me up. Yeah, I'm super thankful we don't have a week 5 bye. Praise God. Week 10, we begin what's called the Rust Belt journey. That's where we head to Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's interesting that we're playing Pittsburgh. That's one of our preseason games. I think it's our last preseason game. I don't know why they gave us Pittsburgh. It's Buffalo, Indianapolis, and Pittsburgh, and then we play Pittsburgh in the season. I don't love it. I don't love it, but hey, week 10, we head to Pittsburgh, and I believe we get absolutely smoked. Now, the one thing that we do have going for us in Pittsburgh is Ben Roethlisberger's arm. The further the season goes, the longer the season goes, the more games that are played, his arm will slowly dwindle like a dwarf star way up in the sky. That's just what's going to happen. It's midway through the season. Somebody let me know. I don't know if Pittsburgh's coming off a bye as well. If they're coming off a bye, then that's huge for them. That's huge for his arm. But if they're playing week after week and they play week 8, and then they play week 9 and then they go into week 10, I think that gives the Lions the best chance there. Yeah, moving on. Then we continued through the Rust Belt. We go to Cleveland. Now, there's a lot of Cleveland fans that actually watch this channel because Quincy Carrier and he's an awesome Cleveland Browns YouTuber. Check out his channel. His stuff is phenomenal. Him and I have kind of worked together. We've done a couple collabs. And really looking at Cleveland, I think that they're going to be just as good, if not better, than they were last year with the Clowney signing. Everything that they're doing, Stefanski's a phenomenal coach. I do believe that Cleveland gives it to us here. They give us the business. We lose again. Yeah, looking like an L. Looking like an L. Wow, which player comes out of nowhere and shines this year due to injury in front of them? Yo, that's a great question. That's a tough one because you don't want to be like, oh, this guy's going to get injured, therefore now they're going to get better or they're going to pop off. So I'm not going to go down the injury route because I don't want to speak anything into existence. However, somebody that I think shines this year is Jamar Jefferson at the RB3 position. Whether it's because Jamal Williams or DeAndre Swift, maybe one of them. Look at DeAndre Swift. Suffered a concussion last year. He's out for 3 weeks. Well, then Jamal Williams is taking more reps. Jamar Jefferson's used even more. That's what I'm going to call. I'm going to say Jamar Jefferson really shows up this year, shows off, and is worth what we're giving him, that 4-year contract. And really, we picked him up in the 7th round. That's my prediction for this year. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Yeah, you know what? We have some solid undrafted free agents. I know I've seen some people asking questions about our UDFAs. Quite frankly, I'm really happy with the wide receivers that we have brought in as undrafted free agents. I think a lot of those guys offer a ton to the team. Specifically, my presumption will be that Jonathan Adams makes it. Sage Surratt was having so much. He was being talked about a ton. Sage Surratt was like this huge name, right? Obviously, but then 2019, the injury, the opt-out, everything that's kind of gone on in his life to where he is today. He fell off the boards. Jonathan Adams and Surratt are really going to go at it. I do like the two of them. I think Jonathan Adams offers the most to us. What I like about each one of these wide receivers is the fact that they're all big-bodied guys. They're huge, 215, 210 pounds. They're like 6'2". All of our other wide receivers, Damian Ratley, Khalif Raymond, Bashad Perriman, all of Terrell Williams, they're all short speed demons. And so I really like having the option of a bigger boy out on the outside, which is why I like Jonathan Adams. Put that guy on the outside. He's kind of got that Kenny Galladay vibe, RIP. But all in all, Jonathan Adams, definitely very excited about him. Now, I talked a little bit about the defense of undrafted free agents, and I would say that I liked half of them. Half of those guys, right off the bat, let me just look at them. We had safety D'Angelo Amos, linebacker Tavante Beckett, cornerback Jerry Jacobs, and cornerback AJ Parker. Beckett and Jacobs, I was kind of meh about. I think Beckett is undersized. I think he's 5'11. He's too small for a linebacker. So I'm kind of not looking for, I don't think he's going to make it either. Just make the 53-man roster, or he's a practice squad type of player. We'll see what happens with him. But really, my favorite guy is AJ Parker. I think AJ Parker offers the most to us. 5'11, 183 pounds. He can track the ball in the air, which is incredible. Great instincts. He diagnoses the play as it's unfolding. Like, that's something that is so huge. Unlike Jared Davis, couldn't do that. And then you look at a bunch of his stats. I'm not going to go through them all, but all in all, I think he's great at stopping the run. He wraps up on the tackle. He's my boy. Here we go. So earlier, for those of you who were not here, we talked a little bit about OBJ. Obviously, OBJ is an excellent athlete. Tramel Hughes, thanks for dropping this in there. He's a phenomenal athlete. He's a baller. He's great at what he does. The only reason I don't want him here in Detroit, the only few reasons: A, the cost. Well, I don't want to spend that money. B, his position, his heart position, we'll say it like that. He kind of considers himself before he considers those around him. And I don't want that in the locker room. In the locker room, I want a guy who's all about the team. OBJ, from what the media has portrayed, from what we can see, doesn't seem like that. Doesn't seem like that type of guy. Xander Shea, great question. How do I think Okudah will do this year? I think leaps and bounds better than he did last year. Yeah, last year he was injured. He had that groin injury and terrible leadership. No preseason, was thrown in there against Green Bay week 2. It was his first time out on the field, out on the pitch, they might say, during a Quidditch match. He runs out there and just got burnt left and right. Aaron Rodgers dropping dimes over him. I felt really bad for him. Felt really bad. That's no way you want to enter into the NFL. It was during the COVID year. He was hurt. Huge bummer. So when I look at him, I think Okudah is going to do leaps and bounds better. Moving on, obviously, we have just played Cleveland. We move into Chicago at home on Thanksgiving Day. What do you guys think? We win at Thanksgiving? Are the Detroit Lions posting a W for the whole nation to see at 1 o'clock? Is it time? Is it time for us to win? Man, the last couple Thanksgivings have been the absolute worst. And I usually am sitting there at home watching my family. My father he's like, wow, this is the team to root for? And I'm like, yeah. Okay, we got a lot of yeses. We should win. We need this W on Turkey Day. Yes, going for the win. Yes, and yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think this year we do win. We beat Chicago on Thanksgiving Day. You know what? I don't think that this is true, Lions fan one, Paulie. I don't think Dan Campbell, we have committed to him. We've committed to Dan Campbell. We have committed to Brad Holmes. They're not getting fired in year 1 of the retool. Even if we lose, even if we went 1-16 at this point, oh gosh, that I can't stand that. I hate the 17th game. I'm just going to say it. I'm coming out hot. Hate the 17th game added to the NFL. It risks so much more injury. Guys are limping into the postseason. It's not fair to them. I understand you're just trying to get the ratings, but it's garbage, in my opinion. Anyways, yeah, you know what? Never bet against the Lions on Thanksgiving. You never know what could happen. I think that we beat Chicago this year, and I think it's beautiful. I think people really are like, oh my God, this Lions team, this is new. This is something new. No, I am not. I'm not scared for them to play on Thanksgiving, because I love it. I love that the entire nation is stuck watching us, because even when we're bad, I'm like, good. You guys have to finally watch the Lions play. And you're gonna watch it because it's Thanksgiving Day, and maybe they just put it on as noise in the background. But nameless stranger, welcome to Let's Talk Lions Live. Thanks for being here for the live stream. Honestly, all 63 some odd of you that are chilling here this morning, thanks for being here. Thanks for enjoying your coffee, enjoying it with me, chatting it up about the Lions. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you all being here. Yes, the 17th game will ruin NFL records. Absolutely. I think, quite frankly, when you look at that, to me, even all the records, think of all the records. I look at Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley and their records last year. And now all of a sudden you're like, okay, here's the 17th game. To me, not a fan. Not a fan. Plus, we're playing Denver. So I was like, ugh, nothing great about that. Moving on. So obviously we beat Chicago at home. We go the next week. It's back-to-back divisional games, back-to-back home games. Minnesota comes here. I give the Lions a W against Minnesota. We split with them this year. We lose the first one in Minnesota. They come to Detroit. They lose. And then the next week we head to Denver. That was the 17th game added into the schedule. Will we be playing Teddy Bridgewater? Will we be playing Drew Lock? Will we be playing Aaron Rodgers? That is the question. Batman dropping in a $2 donation. My man, thank you very much. Good sir. Lions winning a playoff game in the next 5 years? Question mark. Absolutely. I said it earlier. 2023, the Detroit Lions take the North and we win the first game in the playoffs, no doubt. I'm going to be honest with you, Batman. I think wild card next year, we go in as a wild card team and make the upset. We take a W in 2022. Now, hey, call me crazy, but you wouldn't be the first person to call me crazy, so it's not offensive. You can, been called a lot of things. One time I was teaching fifth graders, and a fifth grader looked up at me and just said, Jay, you're the weirdest person I've ever met. And I just sat there, kind of looked at the kid, and the kid goes, but you know what? That's good because normal is boring. And I looked at her and I said, you're the smartest fifth grader I've ever met. Oh, that's getting cool. It's definitely getting cool. All right, moving on. Thank you, Batman. I appreciate it. Asan Moore, we talked about it a little bit earlier. A successful season, to me, doesn't matter about the record. I don't care if we get 7 wins. I don't care if we get 5 wins. I don't care if we're at 3 wins. To me, it's about the competency of the leadership on the field. It's the coaching. How good is the coaching? Is the coaching actually changing the tide? It's all about the future. This year, to me, record doesn't matter. Record has no holdover. Is it a success or not? I want to be there Sundays watching the game. And as I'm watching, I see competency from the sideline and I see a culture shift, a dynamic culture shift here in Detroit. That's what I want. That's a successful season. That might have been too much excitement. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, yeah. Ryan, you called it out, man. Could you imagine how pissed mainstream media would be if we're really good in the next couple of years? Absolutely. Mainstream media hates us, hate Detroit. They don't want to see us be good. And if we are good, it's going to be like we'll see if they can maintain it. And you're like, can you just give us some credit? Just a little credit here. I'll take a teeny bit. Moving on. We go to Denver. I don't know if I said it. That game is a toss-up to me. It can go either way. I am... Depends. Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock. I do give us the loss. I give us the loss because Goff in cold weather, not the greatest. I think we go to Denver, we lose. It's a close one. It hurts my heart, but we lose against Denver. Then we come back to Detroit. We play Arizona. I'll tell you what, last year when we played Arizona, I had just started the channel. I had a bunch of Arizona. I always do a pre-game review. And I did a one regarding Arizona. I had all these Arizona Cardinals fans being like, you suck. You suck. Like the Lions are going to lose. And then us beating Arizona felt so good. And I just watched all of you guys in the comments just trolling the Cardinals fans. Troxel Sports Streams. What's happening, my man? If you guys do not know Trox, Go check out his channel. The guy is probably the greatest live streamer ever during a game. It's phenomenal. Go check out his work. Love him. What a stud. Trox, thanks for being here. Hope you're enjoying some coffee this morning. Yeah, moving on. I am going to hit that back up. Arizona, I'm giving us the L. And I think Matt Prater comes out. And the way we beat them last year, Matt Prater does it to us. He's used to Detroit. He loves the dome. He gets out there, rocks a 56-yard field goal to put us in the grave. That's my assumption. It feels terrible. I hate it, but also Matt Prater forever. So it is what it is. All right, let's moving on. And then Atlanta. This game, Atlanta is going to be very intriguing because we always split with them. I talked about it earlier. We had do you guys remember the 8-second runoff game? There's 8 seconds left in the game. There's the whole, I think, I forget, it was Matt Stafford. I remember Kerryon Johnson on the field. It might have been Kerryon Johnson's first year, 2018. Correct me if I'm wrong. The 8-second runoff where all of a sudden the refs, some timeouts called. I forget the way it all went down, but basically they were like, hey, we just want to let you know you're actually out of time because there's a 10-second runoff rule. It's at 8 seconds. Detroit, you lose. And we're on like the 1-yard line and everybody's kind of scratching their head. And Matt Ryan's like, wait, I don't feel like we won. It was awful. It was awful. Hurt my heart. So I do believe Arizona game, nameless stranger, that is home. But I do believe that we also lose to Atlanta in Atlanta. Yeah. Yes, Cameron Wojcik. Yeah, we still had Golden Tate. Yeah, the runoff game. I'm sorry, boys. And then you look at last year, we go down to Atlanta. Matt Stafford throws the dime to TJ Hawkinson in the last second of the game. We win. Atlanta's always a fun game. It's always a fun game. It feels like it always comes down to the very end. It's always a nail biter. And I do believe that we lose to Atlanta this year down in Atlanta. It's just our time. We won last year. They win this year. That's how it feels to me. Then we head to Seattle. We get smoked by Russ because he's just cooking. He defeats us. And then we come back to Green Bay. It all comes down to, hey, is Aaron Rodgers a Packer? At the moment, he is. It's home. We lose. The Detroit Lions go 7-10. Trox coming in. We destroy Atlanta. I'm not mad at that. I would love to see that. Love to see us beat Atlanta. Love beating them. Yeah, and you know what? Defense is not great. You're right. That's where it's always a coin flip. I think Atlanta. I think Philadelphia. I think Denver. And I'm going to go with, I think between those three are really the flip of a coin. We could easily split with Chicago, but I think we sweep them. We could split with Green Bay. I think we go over. And I am calling that we beat Chicago and Minnesota. I'm saying we're splitting. But hey, you can go 2-0 or you can go 0-2. Kirk Cousins. You never know. Kirk Cousins comes out there sometimes and he just destroys. Noble Sports Entertainment, my guy. Thanks for being here. You, sir, are a stud. We do definitely have a tough schedule. AFC North, NFC West, Philadelphia. We've got our own division, Atlanta, Denver. It's a tough one. This is a tough year. Thanks for being here today, man. Appreciate you, Noble Sports. Do I like Kirk Cousins? I'm indifferent. Kirk Cousins is just your classic B quarterback. I'm like, oh, you have what it takes. You have what it takes. And then sometimes you're like, what are you doing? How are you in the NFL? He's just your average quarterback. So I don't care for him. I mean, anybody in our own division, I don't care for, but I don't dislike the man. I think he's a really good person too. Yeah, Mike Taft, 7-10 would be an improvement. And you know what, nameless stranger, you guys are calling it out. The crazy thing about these predictions is we have no clue. Just too amped for the season to start, especially if Rodgers holds out for week 2 or not. Wouldn't that be something? Absolutely, dude. Yeah, look, I am so ready for the season. It sucks that it's May 15th and we got 3 months before. You're looking at almost 4 months before the start, September 12th for us. We have a long time to go. But you know what? This is going to be a great offseason. It's been a great offseason. It's going to continue to be a great offseason. And quite frankly, when you look at our division at the moment, If I had to rank QBs, everybody in the chat, rank quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks in the NFC North. If I had to rank them, it's Rodgers, Goff, Cousins, Fields, or Dalton. Both of them at the very bottom. Let's just say Fields is starting. He's going to be fourth. I look at it like that. I'm going Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Fields. Drop it in the chat. Yeah, and you know what? I'm seeing a lot of people basically, there's a lot of people, you know what? The range is very interesting for me for what people are saying our record is going to be. It's all a prediction. It's all fun. We're going to get there. Yes, we are eating birds all year. All year long, we're playing the dirty birds, and the dirtier birds. Put them as you choose. That's totally up to you. All right, we got the same order for Nameless Stranger. He's saying Rodgers, Goff, Cousins, Fields. We got, I'll check this one out. Det Fat Man saying NFC North ranking Goff, Cousins, Dalton, Bortles. I forgot that Bortles is back. We got a Rodgers, Cousins, Goff, Dalton. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, all in all, I think, you know what? And somebody asked me why I hate the Eagles. It's because I grew up in Jersey. And you deal with a lot of Philadelphia people, especially in South Jersey. All these people, whenever they come up to North Jersey in the summer, all repping their birds stuff. And you're like, your team sucks. Your team sucks. You haven't won the Super Bowl yet. Stop loving them as much as you do. And I guess it's not that they loved them. It's because they thought they were the best. And I'm like, the Philadelphia Eagles are garbage. They're always going to be garbage. And then Nick Foles shows up and does what he does. And I'm like, I'm not going to lie. When Philadelphia beat Chicago in that you guys want a story time? Welcome back to Story Time with Jay. This is a moment I'm not proud about, but it happened. It's Philadelphia versus Chicago in the year of the double doink, in the year of our Lord, the double doink. And I'm sitting in the car. My wife, we were going over a friend's house and they were having a huge party. And there's like 15 people in the home. And it's at the very end of the game. It's the last minutes. And we pull up and my wife is like, hey, I'm going to go in. And I was like, and none of the people in there like football. And I was like, Andrea, whoops. I said, my wife, I have to watch the end of this. I can't handle it. I'm sitting in the vehicle watching the game on my phone and it's taking forever. And when the double doink happened, if anybody was out on a nice evening stroll, they would have seen what looked like somebody in the passenger seat having a seizure. I was so mad. I just wanted Philadelphia to lose. I wanted Chicago to go on. I went insane. I'm like, it's not often that competitive spirit comes out of me. It's either when I'm playing men's softball or if I'm watching Philadelphia potentially win it all. I was probably one of the angriest men in America that evening. And then I had to go into a party and I was just not, it wasn't a great night for me. Definitely a low point in my life, but hey, I'm here to share that with you. Oh. Hey, Ezekiel, my man, people are going to start putting respect on the Detroit Lions names. That is for sure. I'm so thankful for our leadership. I'm so thankful. And I know, like, here we are. It's the beginning. We haven't even played one snap yet. And a lot of people are saying, oh, Detroit, it's all theoretical. You can't be that happy yet. For everybody in the chat, for everybody watching here today, I think as Lions fans, this is the best offseason we've had in 10 plus years. I'm just calling it out. That's my take. I think it's been 10 plus years since we have had such an offseason as this. It's been incredible to see good leadership from the top down, from Sheila to Holmes to Campbell. When I look at it, the Detroit Lions will earn the respect of the rest of the NFL. And it's going to come through us winning the division. And I want to do it while Aaron Rodgers is still here. I don't want him to move on to Denver. I don't want him to move on to Vegas. I want Aaron Rodgers to stay in Green Bay. And I want the Lions to trash him. And that's not going to be this year. It might be in 2023. It could take us a couple of years, but that's what I want. I don't want him leaving yet. Yeah, debt fat man, only 10 years, try 30. I was thinking of Matt Stafford, us bringing him in here. That was what, 12 years ago. So you're right. Quite frankly, it's probably the best offseason we've ever had. Let's just roll the dice. Noble Sports saying 5 to 7 wins. Cameron Wojcik, bro, we've never seen this. You're right. This is the greatest offseason for the Detroit Lions. Let's just put a friggin' forever stamp on that bad boy and ship it out through the USPS. Best offseason we've had. Can that translate to this season? That's my question. And I really think it will. I think we're going to watch the leadership top down all the way through everything we do this season. It's going to be beautiful. Wow. Yeah. Which Bon Jovi song sums up this year's Lions? I'm gonna leave that one to the chat. Which Bon Jovi song best sums up this year's Lions? Drop it in the chat. I'm not a Bon Jovi guy, so I got nothing for you there. Do you think Tom Brady retires this year? I'm guessing you mean after the 2021 season. I mean, I don't think so. I think he said 45, right? And he's only 43. He's got at least 2 years left. And if the NFL continues to do what they do and not let him be touched, not even let him be breathed on, the guy could be playing for another 5 years. I would love to see Brady get smoked and to be like, oh my God, yeah, I'm a little old. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Let me put it this way. I was playing men's softball the other day. I dove for a ball at second base. When I got up, I was like, are my ribs missing? I think they're missing. All week, sore ribs, man. Sore ribs. Tom Brady, he doesn't get touched. I mean, if he gets hit once nice and hard by a guy like Micah Parsons in week 1, yo, could be the end. Could be the end. He's an old dude. Old dude playing the sport. Let's see. Troxel coming in. Yeah, after the initial reaction of 10 wins, I'm sticking at that 7-10 record. I'm with you, Trox. That's what I'm saying. I think the Detroit Lions go 7-10 this year. And if we go less, we go less. Living on a prayer. That's the Bon Jovi answer. I'm seeing it multiple times. Graham Wilkie, Tom Brady's going to retire at 78. That's fair. Definitely. I could see that. Maybe he's going to be living on a prayer. Wow, we're getting a lot of living on a prayer. Sounds like that's the Detroit Lions. Maybe that's what we should be playing. Maybe that's what we should be playing going into every game. Guys, I'm going to try my hardest to get to go to a Detroit Lions game as an honorary water boy. I'm making a sick promo to get them pumped to see me just squashing water all over the field, diving over tables. I would be such a good Gatorade guy throwing that. It's going to be a good promo. I'm going to need your help getting me to go to a Detroit Lions game as an honorary water boy. Put the cap on, wear the friggin' windbreaker. It'd be a blast. All right. I mean, I could buy tickets, but I'm going to try to get them to force their hand to let me come in for free. That's the entire aim. Who are we starting at tight end? I mean, it's going to be TJ Hawkinson, no doubt. I mean, that's an easy one. Oh, that's a great idea. Get some water balloons. That'll get me kicked out of the game. Guys, we are coming to a close here. Let's bring bring the Bills Mafia feel to the Lions Mafia. I love it. We're playing Buffalo next year. My brother's coming out. We're going to go to the game. It's going to be a good time. Amped on that. Bills Mafia is one of the greatest things to ever exist. Guys, we are coming to a close here at Let's Talk Lions. Thank you all for being here for another Saturday morning live stream. I hope you enjoyed your coffee. I only made it about halfway through. That's delicious. Thanks for hanging out once again on Let's Talk Lions. Without you guys, wouldn't even be here. This would be nothing. I can't thank you all enough. Looking forward to this year. Looking forward to putting out more content. We'll talk a little bit more about UDFAs in this upcoming week. We'll talk about the center, the guard position. Gonna kind of go through it. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with me here again on Let's Talk Lions Live. And as always, I'll catch you next time on Let's